Happening now, it's official. A new Target store will be moving to the Jamestown area. We hear from the company about when that could open. Plus, a look at the new fire engine that will be soon hitting the streets in Falk.
Well, you're going to want to enjoy this afternoon because as we go into the weekend, it all changes. We're talking some snow possibly in the hills. We'll talk about it in detail next as the News at Noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
The county's first Target store will be moving into the former Kmart in West Ellicott. That's according to a Target spokesperson who confirmed the news to us last night. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. In a statement, Target officials say, quote, "We're excited to bring an easy, safe, and convenient shopping experience to new guests in this community with this new Target store. As we get closer to opening the store, we'll have more specific details to share, including how the shopping experience will be tailored to serve local guests and the grand opening." Located at 975 Fairmount Avenue, Chautauqua County's clerk says the business purchased the 117,000 square foot property last month. This will be the first time since August 2019 that a business will operate out of the location after Kmart closed as part of a nationwide cutback by their parent company, Sears. Town of Ellicott supervisor tells us this is good news for his town. He says, however, the company will likely need to make several changes to the property, like indoor and exterior painting. That Target spokesperson did not describe a specific timeline for opening. However, he said the company plans to open the store in the next few years. A retired United States Air Force colonel and Chautauqua County executive has been inducted into the New York State Senate Veterans Hall of Fame. As our Bronson Rasmussen reports, Vince Horrigan was tapped for the honor by State Senator George Borrello, who formally announced the designation during a ceremony held at the Department of Veterans Affairs office in Jamestown yesterday.
While the event honors one specific veteran, Senator Borrello believes that one outstanding veteran can be a symbol for all.
So many veterans don't like to, even talk about their experiences. You have so many that suffer, that have, physical and mental scars, and I think that it's nice to be able to bring some recognition to someone like Vince, and hopefully that is, something that other veterans can look to.
Vince Horrigan, a Bemis resident, logged over 3,500 hours as a fighter pilot. His assignments included service as an Air Force fighter weapons school instructor, NATO Tactical Systems and Readiness Evaluator, and Security Assistance Program Manager, among several other duties.
These are important things for us to stop and reflect, I think, on Veterans Day and every day, that there are those who suffer because of one thing. They love this country, they serve with their friends, and they believe in freedom and the ideals that our founding fathers built this country on.
Every year, the Senate board chooses a veteran to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, a process that Borrello says is about the individual's commitment.
It's really about someone who has, sacrificed for their community and their nation, and that's why Vince was such a perfect choice.
The Veterans Hall of Fame was created in 2005 to honor veterans who have distinguished themselves in their military service and continue to serve their community. Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
A mock school bus crash might disrupt drivers in the town of Gary tomorrow morning. The Gary Fire Department says Van Cobb Road will be closed from 8:30 a.m. until approximately 11 a.m. Additionally, Route 380 will be limited to one lane from the intersection of Salisbury Road to the Route 60 overpass during that time. Firefighters are asking drivers to use extra caution while traveling in the area. And a new fire engine will be soon hitting the streets in the village of Falconer. The Falconer Fire Department announced yesterday the new engine has passed final inspection and will soon be outfitted with the needed equipment. Engine 401 sports a new paint scheme and brings what officials say is a much-needed refresh to the traditional department fleet. The cabin will seat 6 interior firefighters. All hose lines are now pulled from lowered rear hose beds, and a remote control deck gun is also installed. The new engine has a 750-gallon water tank that can pump up to 2,000 gallons a minute. Additionally, a new battery-operated Jaws of Life cutter and spreader is featured on that truck. Well, the holiday season is fast approaching, and with Thanksgiving around the corner, a Jamestown rent-to-own establishment is getting ready to give back. Our Dante Roberts is hearing from the business's owners about what's on tap.
To hometown rent-to-own owners Jeff Smith and Mike Radecki, Thanksgiving is all about getting the family together. The two say this mission is vital, especially this year.
We started this event when we opened up in Salamanca in 2014. 2015 was our first year doing it, and what we found out is during the holiday seasons, people typically have a financial burden. You know, we have Christmas coming up, there's other bills due, and typically in today's age too with the pandemic, you know, it's really a financial strain with the inflation and everything going up. So a lot of times families can't afford a nice Thanksgiving dinner.
The two will be giving away 50 Thanksgiving meals for free at their Foot Avenue location in Jamestown. That includes a turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, corn and yams, among other fixins.
It's going to take place November 19th, which is on a Friday. It starts at 10 a.m. and it is on a first-come, first-served basis. You don't have to be a customer here. There's no purchase necessary, which is also, you know, huge with us. Just if you're in need or know somebody that's in need, stop on down.
The two businessmen opened their Jamestown location this past May. They say it was a bit of a challenge to get everything up and running because of the pandemic's related supply. However, the duo says they are stocked up for the Christmas season. However, if you plan to purchase any big items like a new TV, for example, you need to buy them sooner than later.
So if you're looking for that hot holiday item, come see us, stop in the store, give us a call.
It is not just meals that are being donated this holiday, but mattresses too.
It is a dire need, and fortunately enough, we were able to do a donation and partner with the Jamestown Police Department and do a donation to those families in need, and we're giving away about a dozen queen-size mattresses to those people. We're going to deliver them, no names, no questions asked.
Dante Roberts, WNY News Now.
Dante, thank you. In addition to the 50 meals here in Jamestown, the two are giving out 100 meals at their location in Salamanca as well. Certainly great to see the community coming together. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below for those of you watching us on Facebook Live. Great to see Lori, good to see Pam, Amanda, Scott, and Darlene as well. Hopefully you're all having a great day. And we got to say hello to our friends tuning in on channel 716 on Roku as well. If you haven't downloaded that and added it to your channel lineup, I don't know what you're waiting for. There's so much great content out there. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that. And I know today, Dakota, going to be one of the last sunny days in the next couple few because we got some snow that's on the way.
Yes, I mean, you know, you're going to want to enjoy today because really today is really the last of this really good weather that we have until it all goes downhill going into the weekend. So the Randolph Peaches and Cream Skycam shows you the clouds starting to move in a little bit in Cat County, but it's still breezy, southwest wind of 12. At least it's not going to be as windy as it was yesterday. We'll talk about those wind gusts a little bit later on that we had yesterday, but actually had a little band of lake effect rain showers that came right off Lake Erie and moved up towards the Buffalo North towns up into Niagara County. But in terms of the southern tier, yeah, we're pretty dry, and really the cloud cover really hasn't been as as thick as it could be. So, but we are starting to see the clouds starting to come in a little bit. 61 was the high yesterday. Started the day at 41. Records actually, believe it or not, were kind of close together. 70 on this day in 2012. 16 record low back 2 years ago in 2019. So the records were kind of close together for this day. So through the afternoon, a great amount of sunshine, not as mild, but it's still above average by at least by at least 1 or 2 degrees here. A little bit breezy, 47 to 55 with a southwest wind 5 to 15. And watch out for some wind gusts, could be upwards of 30 miles an hour. Now we get into some rain and snow showers tonight, and then that's just going to continue all the way through at least the foreseeable future. We'll talk about it in detail with that 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin.
All righty, Mr. Hunter. We will see you back in about 10 minutes. Thank you, sir. A local highway bridge will be dedicated today in memory of a U.S. Army soldier who was killed in action while fighting in Vietnam. New York State Senator George Borrello and Assemblyman Joe Giglio will host a ceremony dedicating Interstate 86's bridge crossing West Main Street in Randolph as the Corporal William James Hillard Memorial Bridge. They will be joined by representatives from the New York State Department of Transportation, the town of Randolph, Randolph American Legion, as well as family and friends of the late corporal at 2 o'clock. Corporal Hillard graduated from Randolph High School in 1966. He joined the Peace Corps in 1967, helping farmers in India, and that's when he joined the Army in 1968 to serve in Vietnam. He was killed in action on March 15, 1969, just 15 days after his 21st birthday. The legislation that designates that bridge in honor of Corporal Hillard passed unanimously by both houses of the legislature and was signed into law in July. Well, the Vietnam conflict was a costly and controversial war. Many American soldiers lost their lives. As Rachel Knapp reports, decades later, work to honor those American heroes still proudly continues.
At the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C., people took their time walking by the memorial wall, reading the names of more than 58,000 service members who died in the war. People put down flowers, wreaths, cards. Some looked for family names, while others looked for familiar names of people they served with that are etched in the wall.
Today we pause to honor those, past and present, who have served in our nation's military, to contemplate you and your family's many sacrifices, and to reflect on what you've done for our country.
For Veterans Day, many Vietnam vets listened to former vets, speakers from the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund and the National Park Service, sharing the importance of having this memorial wall and sharing their own memories of the war.
Every one of us had a different experience in Vietnam.
The Vietnam War was a complicated and controversial war. The U.S. fought alongside South Vietnam against the communist North Vietnamese. Many American men were drafted. Many of them were killed or badly injured.
Present arms!
For some of these vets, although this war was decades ago, it still impacts them to this day.
We went forward to do whatever job we were assigned to do and in whatever location we were sent.
And to these vets, today's ceremony honors those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country and honoring the Vietnam vets that are still here today. In Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp reporting.
Coming up, here are the charges lodged against a man accused of standing in the street and then punching passing vehicles here in Jamestown. And later, the Red Kettle campaign kicks off, how you can give back locally. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones, because fire is everyone's fight.
This message was brought to you by the Jamestown Fire Department and the Chautauqua Safety Village.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A 61-year-old man is facing charges after allegedly punching vehicles while standing in the middle of the street in Jamestown this week. City of Jamestown police report that Buffalo resident Vixen Fruferf was arrested following the alleged act in the area of North Main and West 8th Street Monday afternoon. Through investigation, it's alleged that he stood in the middle of traffic and aggressively went after vehicles. Specifically, officers accuse him of punching out the windows of one of the cars involved. He was taken to city jail and charged with third-degree felony criminal mischief, but later released on an appearance ticket. Well, women and some men in Congress have been fighting for government child care assistance for almost 80 years now. With President Joe Biden's nearly $2 trillion social services package, they're close as they've ever been to winning that charge. And it's not just child care subsidies here. President Biden's bill, is making its way through Congress, would put the U.S. on course to provide free pre-kindergarten paid family leave to care for children or sick loved ones and enhance child tax credits in a massive expansion of federal support to families. The big bill combines a series of long-sought Democratic goals to shore up families that have been tried before, only to run into some resistance. And they have again today, with Republicans in lockstep against the package. The child care subsidies would attempt to guarantee that most Americans don't spend more than 7% of their income on child care. And while Congress approved the Family and Medical Leave Act nearly 30 years ago to guarantee time off, the U.S. remains among a handful of wealthy countries that do not offer paid time off to care for sick children or loved ones. Biden's bill would change that. Well, after 8 days of testimony from dozens of witnesses, the Wisconsin trial of Kyle Ritterhouse is now at a standstill after the defense rested yesterday. 18-year-old Ritterhouse faces charges that he fatally shot 2 people and wounded a third using an AR-15 style rifle during a Kenosha protest in August 2020 following the police shooting of Jacob Blake. The judge in the case told the jury that closing arguments will begin Monday. Prosecutors informed that judge that they do intend to ask for lesser included charges to be submitted to the jury, but that decision has not been finalized yet. Ritterhouse has pled not guilty on all charges. If convicted of the most serious charge against him, he faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison. Well, it's that time of year already, the season of giving. As Erie News Now's Molly Samora reports for us, we're starting to see those red kettles out and looking for donations to help families this holiday.
Every year on November 1st, folks in Warren County know the holiday season is near. That's after the red kettles are set up.
Because the more money we raise, the more we're able to help people. So the better we do, the more that we can give back to the community.
The need for donations this season is greater than ever before.
It hasn't stopped, especially since COVID started. We've seen an influx, especially when it comes to like our soup kitchen. We have a soup kitchen that runs Monday through Friday, and before COVID, we got about 30. We're up to anywhere between 70 and 80 a day.
Major Keith Jakey tells me the last couple of years have been challenging, as more and more people aren't carrying cash.
But everything helps. People think that, all I have is change. Well, change adds up. Every cent counts so that we can continue to help people.
And if you're looking for a way to give back,
you can do a couple hours or a full shift. We need the help so that we can make sure that all our kettles are manned this kettle season.
Molly Samora, Erie News Now.
Molly, thank you. That's what they say. Every little bit helps. That's so important. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comment section down below. Happy Friday to everybody out there. And boy, Dakota, I got to say, this week has gone by pretty quick. At least it feels like that for me anyways.
Yeah, I mean, the week has kind of flown on by a little bit. But
I think it has something to do with the holidays. The clock's ticking for those procrastinators out there, so they really got to get on it, and I guess that would be me, right? Procrastination Nation. Good to see Pat, Chris, and Christine. Hopefully you're having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in here on the Facebook Live land, and a lot of people are in that spirit, I think. I already see the lights out there. You see the Salvation Army folks at various stores as your hustle and bustling is starting to get underway, but we don't quite feel it yet, at least weather-wise, although I know things are going to start to change as we head throughout the weekend.
Yep, the weekend is going to be a time of change. Wanted to go back to yesterday and talk about the wind gusts for the day yesterday because it was breezy out there. So these were the peak wind gusts that we had. Fredonia, you led the way at 45 miles an hour peak wind gust. That was at the Mesonet site, Olean 42, Dunkirk at the airport 40, Lakewood 37, Jamestown here at the airport 35, and Randolph at 33. So it was a breezy day yesterday, and at least the winds are not going to be as strong as they were yesterday. We actually have some sunshine downtown from the HD News Now cam right now. As a noon hour, we're perched at 48 degrees with a southwest wind to 7, and we do have that wind gust again at 24, or 17 is the wind gust. The wind speed, I'm sorry, not 7. And I'm ready for the weekend, and the wind chill down to 42 degrees. So, hey, tonight, the Jamestown Red Raiders are in Buffalo at Highmark Stadium to play their Section 6 championship game against against Frontier. Jamestown is 10-0, undefeated this season versus Frontier. 8-2 is their record. 46 down to 44 through the game. It's $10 admission. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock. And go Raiders. Hopefully they can bring home that Section 6 championship. Man, you know, but again, I've mentioned before, I'm biased. I'm a 2012 graduate of JHS. But anyway. As we move on here, the temperatures over the next 5 days really are going down. 51 today, but look at where it goes as we go into the weekend. Yeah, we're going to go back down into the upper 30s for early next week. How's that for you? That's going to be feeling more like November. Cold front has swept on through. It's a weak front, but this front did produce those rain showers that we had last night. This big storm system out here is ultimately going to become our next weather maker, along with that trough that's digging in. That's going to bring us those rain showers over the next couple of days. So future scan shows you clouds and sunshine through the day, maybe a couple isolated showers towards the evening hours. Wouldn't necessarily rule that out, but I do think we should stay mainly dry, especially for the game up there in Orchard Park. Then the rain will start to come our way, but notice what mixes in here across the higher hills. That's snow. Yes, we'll actually get a changeover to at least some rain and snow showers across the hillier terrain tomorrow, or at least through the overnight hours. That is ultimately going to continue as we go through the overnight hours, and then through the day tomorrow. Rain and snow showers will be prevalent through the day, and we're going to struggle to hit that 40-degree mark tomorrow, as I think most of us will likely stay in the upper 30s. But the good news is there should be little to no snow accumulation out of that for tomorrow. So temperatures through the afternoon, likely lower 50s. The sun is back in good supply, but it still will be a breezy day. And now, the next 7 days of your life are on the screen. 40 tomorrow, and that's going to go well down. Again, we talked about those temperatures going back down into the 30s, mixed rain and snow showers. We may see all snow on Tuesday, but it should be relatively light. Mostly cloudy Wednesday, and then, we start to warm up again as we go into the late part of next week. We'll take a break and be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job.
I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working.
I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
The registration is being run through the Chamber's sites, which is www.jtny.com. So if you go to click on that link, there's a fillable form online that you can just type in. We'll want to know, obviously a business name or a community group's name, the location, a contact name, and then if you just plan on marching or if you actually have a float. I come from a small business family. So small business to me is very important. I understand about being in downtown Jamestown and being a small business. I want to meet with them and I want to gauge if they're going to be open, number one. If they're number two, would they like to promote a special or something that evening that they can do just for the parade? A good friend of mine, like a teacher at Washington Middle School, Lisa Peters. What do you think about Jamestown, New York, a diverse city celebrating traditions from around the world? Perfect. That's us. That's who we are. That's a great theme.
Remember when you were a kid, huddled around the television waiting for your school to close? Well, we don't get snow days. When winter weather hits, count on the First Defense Weather Team for a look into the future where the snow is headed next. Live radar showing you the scope of the storm, and real-time reports from the field. So when it matters most, stay with First Defense Weather.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now. You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. In an effort to help our furry friends find a forever home, we're partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society, and it's my favorite segment, the Pet of the Week. Joining us live in studio is Brian Papalea to talk more about this week's featured furry friend. And Brian, she looks like she might be ready for a nap right now.
Hi, Justin. Thank you. Yeah.
She, you think about, this is Sherry. First we'll go down this road. Sherry is 1 year old. She's up for adoption right now at the Humane Society. She is actually kind of, I'm going to call her a unicorn of dogs at the shelter. She is good with other dogs. She is good with kids. She'd be actually great for like a young family that has, an active lifestyle. She is a little shy, as you can see, since she's been in here. She's a little shy at first. I actually met her for the first time this morning, and we've spent the last couple hours together to acclimate her to coming out here with me. And she's really warmed up to me a lot. We were sitting out waiting to come in for the segment, and she was jumping on my lap and licking my face. And she's, definitely a lover, and would love to have people come meet her at the Humane Society.
Yeah, and I know that's the one big thing that we discuss quite a bit is the fact that you and your group really tries to have people, say they watch this segment, right, or they see her on social media somewhere. One of the best ways to really get to know an animal is it's probably got to be by meeting them, because until you actually do, you have to know that they're a good fit. If someone is watching this and they say, you know what, she's a beautiful looking dog, I want to get in on learning more, how do they just go about setting up that appointment to come on in?
Well, right now they can go to chqhumane.org and they can fill out the online adoption application. And once they set that in, we'll within about 24 hours, we'll contact them for a meet. Something else that we just opened up recently is our Expodition Program. And that is where people can fill out a form online, or they can stop by the shelter and they can take a dog out for a couple hours for the better part of a day. It generally runs between 10 and about 5:30. So that also would be a great way to get to know a dog, plus give them that time out of the shelter that they benefit so much from.
Right, even if, maybe it doesn't work out where you're like, oh, it didn't work, you're still doing something really great.
Yeah.
Because you're giving them that time of, that one-on-one experience, working with someone and, going for a ride, walking around town, things like that.
Somebody said it at the shelter the best the other day, is just giving them a chance to be a dog for a while, you know, versus that shelter life, which we do the best we can, but still that's more stressful than being at home, at a home. So.
Absolutely. So you mentioned she's like a unicorn type of a dog. So I imagine that means she works well with most folks. I know we talked before about certain settings. Obviously, if somebody was interested in getting a new animal, what sort of checklist would you say that they should go through to make sure that they're ready themselves?
I think the most important thing is schedule. To make sure that you have a schedule where you know that you're going to have enough time to spend with the dog. Like somebody who's young like her, she's going to, need some work with manners and some of that sort of stuff. And, just to make sure that there is enough time for care. Money is always a consideration. You always want to make sure that, because having a pet is definitely expense. It's a responsibility. I think those are the two big ones. Making sure if you rent, if your landlord is okay with it, that sort of thing.
Right.
But really, for the most part, those are the key factors. And if everything, the boxes are checked, start to submit the application, start the process, and see what happens.
Absolutely. So is she fairly new to the shelter?
Yeah, she came in on October 30th, and so she's just been with us, for just a couple weeks. Her actually, I'm assuming it's guesstimated. Her first birthday was last week. So.
Oh wow! Yeah. So happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
So at turning 1, I mean, she still has so much ahead of her. And a lot of people, when they talk about getting a dog, one of the big things they want to do is training them. And, that's obviously something I imagine someone would have to probably work on. But in your experience working with animals, I mean, at 1 year old, that's probably prime time where you should get training.
Yeah, that's a good experience for not just for the animal involved, but for the people, because there's a lot of things that you might not think of that somebody who works with dogs all the time would, with the experience they have. We do have a number of local trainers that do a really good job, so that's definitely something that I think benefits everybody, and in the long run will help you. Something I will throw out there though, even if someone, say, has a dog now and they might be running into some issues, they can always contact our behavior staff at the Humane Society, and they're always happy to help, because we don't want something to get to a situation where they might feel they need to turn the dog to us when we can help them solve their problem, and keep them in the home.
Absolutely. So Brian, thank you so much for coming in today, and again, To learn more about the mission of the Humane Society, just head on over to chqhumane.org. That is it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Have a great day.